Hello everyone, today I'm working on this nice U30C lettered for Santa Fe, and this is in pretty good shape. It just needs a good clean. So probably if I put this on the track, it'll run right away. So everything's there, couplers are there, the handrail, everything's good, and the horn is there. The only thing is, with the horn, somebody put some glue on it, and they put just a little bit too much glue. So I'm not going to do anything about that. I'm just going to run it like that. But before I do, I'm going to clean this up. Shell removal on these is fairly easy. Just get under this tab here and you pull on it. Same thing for the back one. And that is the end of that. I am going to run the shell and the gas tank under my tap with some with my toothbrush and dish soap just to get the dust off. So this is a good engine to get because it's an exceptionally good running engine. So I'm just taking the light shield and the light boards out, and then these little screws. Now my last videos I was using GP7 and GP9 trucks on these, which was kind of interesting. This one happens to be in good shape for what that was about, so I won't need to do any changes to that. Just checking it out inside and just cleaning it if it needs it. It looks pretty good already. Going to remove this little screw here. It's being a little bit stubborn, but that's okay. If you're going to be working on N-scale engine, that's part of the territory. It's small parts, so you're going to have to develop patience. There's nothing more I can say about that. So we'll just spread this apart, let the trucks fall out. And I'll just take a quick peek at the trucks. This looks pretty good. Yeah, I can tell this is going to be a good runner. So I'm just going to spread out the two frames. Be careful with these little insulators. The contact strips haven't fallen out. That's okay. And let's take a look inside. Actually sounds a little too loose, but that's not going to prevent it from running. So the engine cradle doesn't feel right, but the motor is going to run, and it sounds great. So since I have it in my hand, I am going to give it just a little bit of lube, just a drop. And what I do is I use gravity and I move the shaft up and down a little bit, give it a chance to let the oil seep in. You don't want too much, you don't want any of that oil getting on the brushes and the commutator. That would be bad. So I'm going to put it back in there. Try to put it back correctly. So I'm going to test it all again with my wires, with my test bench. That's actually my method, where every time I add a part, I make sure that it's running properly. I'm using very low voltage because I want to see if it can spin properly with the lowest possible voltage. Looks like it's going to be okay. On the worm gear, it's the same thing. You only need a drop. That's it. So 6 drops, you got your whole engine done. So I'll just test it again. So even with the low voltage, still turns well. That's gonna be a good runner. Now I'm gonna clean out my wheels. Now the problem I've been having with my U30C and C30-7s is that some of them have rapido couplers and some of them have microtrans couplers. So I want to run them together. As far as the freight cars go, that's not a problem. I have lots of freight cars with a rapido on one end and the microtrains on the other end. But I want to do it, but I do not want to destroy my coupler box. I want to keep it as close as original as possible. So my solution to this problem was to use these. Now they were made by Precision Masters years ago, and now Fox Valley Models has them, but they bought the molds for it and they market them. So I'm going to replace my rapido with a knuckle coupler like that, which will allow me to couple to my other engines that have the microtrains. So all I have to do is put that in the box, and that should be awesome. So I'm going to take my time as to not to wreck everything. So now I can work on my wheels. So I'm gonna run them under my tap with some dish soap with my toothbrush, and then I'll dry them with my rag. So as I wipe them, I can see the dirt coming off. They weren't extremely dirty, but this still helps. So I'm gonna do the rest of them off camera. Now I'm going to put everything back together. So they weren't that dirty, but I'm glad I did it. Definitely helps. I start by the middle, but there's no real order to that. They just, they're all interchangeable. And don't forget your contact strips. Put it over its pins and put each wheel in the end cap. Then test it with your finger every step of the way. I'm going to put the side frames back on. Just make sure everything's in place. So this will snap, and then test it again. Beautiful. So as I put it back together, I test it at every stage. That way, if there's a problem, I pretty much know which part is causing it. So let's just see what we got now. I don't know if you can see it, but it's turning. And it's very quiet. That's what I'm talking about. So I'm going to start my screws, but I won't tighten them. I'll just start them one turn. And then that will give me enough slack to introduce my trucks. So I'm going to want to have the rapido at the front. That's what I want. I want the rapido at the front, and I want the microtrains or the Fox Valley model in the back. I want the knuckle at the back. There. Then the front one. Now's the time to check for your contact strips. to make sure that they're right where you want them, because once you put the gas tank, it's gonna keep them in. See, this one's completely wrong. It should be under that tab, and over the other one. There. The back one, the same, should be under and over it. That reminds me of a song there, over and under it. And then I can tighten this back up. And put the gas tank on. Now running well on the bench is one thing, but the real test is on the track. So that's where we're gonna go. There's a little notch for the gas tank to tell you the direction. So I'm gonna put my headlights back on, and then we'll go on the track. So I'll just give it some power. Oh yeah, it runs beautifully. And let's try it backward. Yeah, a real beauty. All that's left to do is put the shell back on. That should go nice and easy, nice and smooth. And now it's time to run some trains. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. I certainly had fun making it for you. See you soon.